So welcome to this week's Week in Focus, and we are looking at Avalanche, the layer 1 Avalanche. Hi guys, it's FD for Searchfab.tv bringing you a Week in Focus, focusing on Avalanche for this week. And we'll be looking at what makes Avalanche a project we think is destined for great things to come in the future. On the technology side, that's what we're going to try and focus on. Those are what we call fundamentals. The price will catch up later on, so there's no point in drawing squiggly lines on a chart. You start from here and the price will catch up. If the price starts going high and the fundamentals are non-existent, the next thing, the price will dump. So I think the likes of Avalanche, among many other projects, I think they're doing things right. But before I proceed with this week's Week in Focus, guys, please note that this is not financial advice. This video is not intended to attract you to invest into this project. Please do your own research. This is not financial advice. For those from the UK, please do not watch this video. This video is intended for those outside of the UK. The UK authorities do deem anything crypto related to be extremely risky, and you may end up losing your funds alongside your shirt if you have one, or a t-shirt if you are into t-shirts. That's it, guys. If you are from the rest of the world, welcome to Searchfab.tv, a channel that brings you proper alpha if you do pay attention, of course. If you like the Moon Boys and those who are extraordinary human beings from other channels, maybe you should follow them. But to me, what makes you extraordinary is not trying to copy what an extraordinary person is doing, because it doesn't make you extraordinary at all. And you don't know what is making them extraordinary. They're making all these gains and they're making you pay for membership to get their knowledge. There you go. How extraordinary is that? I mean, what makes someone extraordinary is if you do your own thing and you succeed. That is extraordinary. Not copying someone who claims I'm extraordinary. Look at me, look at my gains. Don't think that makes them extraordinary. If anything, that makes them lucky, and it doesn't mean their luck will rub onto you. Just saying. Anyway, let's come back to this week in focus, where we are looking into Avalanche, or focusing on Avalanche. So Avalanche is a highly scalable open source blockchain platform designed to provide decentralized applications or dApps and custom blockchain networks with high throughput, low latency, and customizable features. Launched by Avalanche in 2020, Avalanche aims to overcome the limitations of earlier blockchains or blockchain platforms such as low transaction speeds and high fees, while offering robust security and flexibility. What comes to mind here is the likes of your Bitcoin and Ethereum, among many others. But in this video, we want to highlight some of the architectural features that make Avalanche one of the most promising blockchain networks within the crypto space. In this video, we'll be featuring on Avalanche Network's multi-chain design. That's our main focus. So to do that, we start with how early blockchains were designed and built. So the early blockchain systems such as Bitcoin and Ethereum are all based on single chain. The development of multi-chain systems is significant in blockchain systems such as Avalanche. They provide significant improvement in scalability, interoperability, and flexibility. The core of this multi-chain system is the ability to run multiple blockchain systems simultaneously. Each chain is optimized for special use cases, thereby boosting the performance of all networks. So I did highlight that Avalanche has got this multi-chain design based on subnet. What is a subnet? Well, a subnet is a network with its own set of rules, but is built on top of Avalanche. It will have its own subset of validators, or Avalanche validators. It can validate multiple blockchains. Each blockchain can define their own virtual machine. Subnets are independent, and subnets can also communicate with each other. And that is what makes them blockchain. Even though we don't call Avalanche layer 0 like the others, the likes of Cosmos and Polkadot, we still refer to it as a layer 1, but it's got subnets that can also host other projects. So a subnet can also host its own projects or dApps. Anyway, each subnet can only validate one blockchain at a time, but a single subnet can validate multiple blockchains. This allows developers to create complex systems of blockchains that are all interconnected. For example, a developer could create a subnet for a decentralized exchange. This subnet will be optimized for high-frequency trading and low transaction fees. The developer could then create a second subnet for a non-fungible token marketplace. This subnet will be optimized for security and storage. So it's got its own rules, like we say. Each subnet has got its own set of rules. These two subnets will be interconnected, allowing users to easily move assets between the two. So you'll be moving them from decentralized marketplace for NFTs to a decentralized exchange. You can move assets between the two. Each blockchain can define their own virtual machine. For example, a subnet can go with the EVM or a modified version of the EVM or an entirely new virtual machine. Each validator can be part of multiple subnets, and all validators are part of the primary network. The primary network includes the P chain, X chain, and the C chain. Now let's look at some of the benefits and features of subnets. So you got scalability. Avalanche subnets can scale independently of the Avalanche primary network because each subnet has its own dedicated set of validators. This means that subnets do not have to compete with each other for resources. As a result, subnets can process transactions much faster than the primary network. For example, if Avalanche Avalanche primary network is processing 1,000 transactions per second or 15,000 transactions per second. A subnet could be processing 10,000 or 150,000 transactions per second or even more. This makes Avalanche subnets ideal for developing highly scalable applications such as decentralized exchanges, gaming platforms, and social networks. What comes to mind in terms of decentralized exchanges, you got Trader Joe and Pangolin Dex. In terms of gaming, there is Bloodloop, and you also have BIM. Who can forget BIM? One of the most promising projects within the space. Subnets also bring in some independence. Independence is an important benefit of subnets on Avalanche. Subnets are independent of each other and of the Avalanche primary network, which means that they can operate without interference from each other. This offers a number of advantages, including avoiding centralization. Subnets prevent centralization by preventing any single entity from controlling the network. Each subnet has its own set of validators, which means that no single entity can control the majority of the network stake. The other benefit is that of modularity. Subnets allow developers to create modular applications. For example, a developer could create a subnet of a decentralized exchange and another subnet of a non-fungible token marketplace. These two subnets will be interconnected, but they will operate independent of each other. The third advantage is that there is no competition for block space. Subnets do not have to compete with each other for block space. This means that subnets can process transactions much faster than the primary network. And then the next advantage of subnets is customizability. Customizability is another important benefit of subnets on Avalanche. Subnets can be customized to meet the specific needs of different applications. This includes the ability to customize the following. For example, developer can customize the gas token. Subnets can use their own gas token, which is the token that is used to pay for transaction fees. This allows developers to create applications with their own fee structure. This is something that people need to get into their heads. Investing into a dApp on Ethereum, you still need to hold Ethereum. Whereas on Avalanche, if you invest in a token of a subnet, you only need that token because you can use that token to pay transaction fees. It's a choice developers make because the choice is there. Whereas on Ethereum, because it's a single blockchain, single structure blockchain, you cannot pay for transaction fees using the native token unless there's a mechanism to convert that into ETH. Then you'll be paying a fortune because Ethereum is not cheap, which is something I regret on behalf of layer 2s because they all require someone to use the ETH coin. You cannot use the layer 2 coin for any transaction fees, which makes them useless because all that's left is voting and governance and staking. What is that? That's not enough use case. Anyway, moving on, developers can also customize the virtual machine on subnets. Subnets can use their own virtual machines, which is the environment in which smart contracts are executed. This allows developers to create applications that use different programming languages and frameworks. The next customizable feature is access restriction. Subnets can restrict access to certain users or applications. This can be useful for creating private or permission blockchain. If there are sanctions against people or users from a certain country or just the blocking of certain wallets, I'm sure they can do that. They can do all those things. So you can easily implement whitelisting if that is a feature that a developer wants to include. Moving on to adoption. Other blockchains have already adopted or are adopting the subnet approach, such as the design structure used by Avalanche. This is because subnets offer a number of advantages, including scalability. Subnets allow blockchains to scale horizontally, which means that they can process more transactions per second. The other advantage is around customization, where subnets can be customized to meet the specific needs of different applications, gaming, NFTs, DeFi, and so forth. We also have security, where subnets can be isolated from each other, which improves the overall security of the blockchain. Examples of such blockchains that are already using the subnet design architecture include the likes of Cosmos, Polkadot, Polygon, Oasis Network, and Ethereum 2.0. So there you go, guys. Avalanche, a layer 1 with so much promise, and its subnet structure is actually an attractive proposition. If you want to look for fundamentals, if you are just looking for price pump, one way up and the only way is up in terms of price, then maybe you don't have the patience to see Avalanche grow into what I think it will be in the next 12 to 24 months. I think Avalanche will become a beast. It will be giving the likes of Solana, possibly Ethereum and Cosmos good run for their money. Now, I want to hear from you. Are you invested in Avalanche? Do you think this design structure, this subnet design structure that Avalanche uses, could tempt you to go and invest in Avalanche? Could be the AVAX coin itself or into dApps and subnets on Avalanche or dApps on subnets on Avalanche. Let me know what you think, guys. Until the next one, I'm your host, FD for Search5.tv, signing out for now. Bye.